Welcome to Molecular Chaos, where science gets wacky.
Today we will be exploring the three states of matter. I'm going to fill you in on all my knowledge of solids.
I'm going to shower you with facts about liquids.
And I'm going to pump you up with gases.
Let's get into it. Welcome back to Molecular Chaos. This is Learning with Leslie. We're going to have a great show learning all about the states of matter. Matter comes in three states. Did you know that? It comes in a solid, liquid, and gas. As you heat up matter, the molecules become less tightly packed together, going from a solid to a gas. So solid to liquid to gas. When you freeze a liquid, it becomes a solid with tightly packed molecules. Today, I'm going to tell you all about solids. What is a solid? A solid is a state of matter with a fixed shape and volume. Particles are closely packed together so they can vibrate but not flow. Solids are rigid and they cannot be compressed easily. What is matter? Matter is anything that takes up space. Matter is everything and exists in the three states of solid, liquid, and gas. So basically think of matter as tiny dots that fill up everything, and they are called molecules. These molecules magnet to each other to help keep things in a shape. We are now going to take a look at some solid items. I have a dice, I have a squishy, and I have a plastic heart. These are all examples of solid items. I also have my glass, which is a solid as well. So we look at our dice and we see it is very hard. Okay, there is no give, there is no squish. This is considered a very hard piece of plastic. Our love heart here is still hard plastic, but it has a little bit of bend to it. So these are all solid. These are solid items. Now we have my Neato here, and my Neato, I can squish it. Okay, I can play with it, and it doesn't. When I squish it, it doesn't stay in the shape. But so what makes this a solid? When I put it in my glass jar here, it doesn't fill up all of the area. See? So it still holds its very basic shape. When I put my water into here, a little bit, it fills up all of the area. Speaking of water, next we have fun facts with Jasmine.
Hey guys, welcome back to Fun Facts with Jasmine, where I tell you facts and obviously make it fun. Today, we'll be talking about liquid, one of the states of matter. First off, what the heck is liquid? Liquid is a state of matter made up of small particles that are pretty close to each other. They look something like this. These particles aren't arranged in a certain way. They can move around and pass each other. Liquids can be changed into solids and gases, depending on the temperature and the pressure. I think it's time for our first fact. Number 1. The process in which a solid turns into a liquid is called melting, kind of like your favorite ice cream on a hot summer day. Fact number 2. The process in which liquid turns into a gas is called evaporation, like when the sun comes out and dries up all the puddles left up from the rain. Fact number 3. When a liquid gets very cold, it turns into a solid. That's called freezing, like when you fill an ice tray with water and then put it in the freezer to make ice. Fact number 4. When gas turns to a liquid state, the process is called condensation, like steam from a hot shower turning into liquid on a cold mirror. Fact number 5, liquids don't have a proper shape. They take the shape of the containers they are kept in. Without a container, they just form a pool or a little puddle. Fact number 6, some liquids do not mix, like oil and water, because water is more dense. Think of it as heavier than oil. The oil will float to the top. Fact number 7, mercury is a liquid metal. Mercury is the only metal in the form of liquid at room temperature. That's actually so cool. It's not every day that you see metal in liquid form. Fact number 8, liquid can come in all forms, like honey and syrup come out slower than water and milk. This is because they have different thicknesses. This is called viscosity. Now, let's see if you've been paying attention. Do liquids have a fixed shape? Good job. If you said no, because liquids don't have a fixed shape, they take shape of the container you put it in. Great job, guys. What is it called when the sun gets rid of all the puddles from a rainy day? Evaporation. That's right. Wow, you guys are so smart. Let's see if you'll get this one. If I poured oil into a cup of water, what would be at the bottom? Water or oil? Oh my gosh, you were really paying attention. That's right. The oil will float to the top because it's less dense. Last, how does a solid become a liquid? Awesome. If you said melting, that is correct. Like if you put an ice cube in your drink, it will melt to make it cold. Well, that's all the facts I have for you guys today. I hope you learned something new. See you next time.
Hi everybody and welcome back to Chaos with Kazi, the place where we turn tiny experiments into big moments. Today, we're going to be continuing our venture through the states of matter. So, solids keep their shape, liquids flow and pour, and gas, gas is the escape artist. And today, I'm turning it into a sword. So, I'm not pumping up this balloon, but let's pretend here. So, let's pretend this balloon looks empty, but it's not. It's going to be filled with gas. Gas is made out of tiny particles moving super fast all the time. And you can't see them, and they're not calm. They're zooming around all the time. So, when I pumped air into this balloon, I'm trapping more of those fast-moving particles inside. They bounce off the rubber, and that creates pressure. And that pressure stretches the balloon, and that's why it grows. It's not magic, it's movement. So, notice something cool. The balloon won't just puff into one bubble. It's the air spreads out evenly. The gas doesn't stack, it spreads. All right, so the invisible army of all the air is now trapped. Now we forge. When we twist here, I'm not adding anything new. This is the handle. So, let's try that again. All right, so let's make the guard here. One more side. All right, here we go. This is the whole sword. And it's just moving gas, pushing outward in every direction. That push makes it hold this shape. So watch here. When I squeeze here, the air moves further down. That's because gas always moves from crowded spots to less crowded spots, and it spreads out automatically. So this does look solid, but it's not. A solid keeps its shape by itself, and only this keeps its shape because of the gas inside. It's pushing it outward constantly. If the particles stopped moving, the sword would just flop down, like it wasn't even filled up. So gas depends on motion, and that's what makes it different. It even feels like firm, but that firmness is just pressure. No bones, no stick inside, just particles. Now, imagine if I untie this. The gas would rush out. It might even fly around the room. So the sword would just completely vanish. And because gas doesn't stay in one place unless something traps it. And that's what makes the big difference. Solids stay, liquids pool, and gas escapes. So what is gas? It's matter. It's made out of particles in constant motion, and it fills space, like the area around you and the air we breathe. And it also creates pressure. And when you trap it, you can build something amazing, even a sword. So today, we learned that gas might be invisible, but it's absolutely real, and it's absolutely powerful. And that's how we turn tiny particles into big moments. This has been Chaos with Cassie. That's all for today for Molecular Chaos. We'll see you next week.